दोस्तों नमस्कार। आज हम चल रहे हैं मैसूर के मशहूर सेंट फिलोमिनास चर्च की तरफ। ये एक प्रोमिनेंट कैथोलिक कैथेड्रल है और डायोसीज ऑफ मैसूर का सीट भी। डायोसीज का मतलब होता है एक ऐसा क्षेत्र जहां से बिशप अपनी धार्मिक और प्रशासनिक जिम्मेदारियां संभालते हैं। इस चर्च का निर्माण 1936 में हुआ था, महाराजा कृष्णराजा वड़ैयर 4 के शासनकाल में। इसकी पहचान है इसकी स्ट्राइकिंग नियो गोथिक आर्किटेक्चर, जिसमें इंट्रिकेट स्टोन वर्क, ऊंचे स्पाइस और ब्रेड टेकिंग डिजाइन शामिल है। शांत माहौल, खूबसूरत स्टेनड ग्लास विंडोज और गहरी स्पिरिचुअल सिग्निफिकेंस के साथ सेंट फिलोमिनास चर्च आज भी सदर्न इंडिया का एक इम्पोर्टेंट रिलीजियस और कल्चरल लैंडमार्क बना हुआ है। Saint Philomena was a young Christian girl born to a noble family in the 3rd century. From an early age, she chose a life of faith, taking a oath of virginity and dedicating herself entirely to Jesus Christ. As part of diplomatic efforts, her family presented her before the Roman emperor, often identified as Diocletian. Captivated by her beauty, the emperor proposed marriage. Philomena refused, steadfast in her oath and unwavering in her devotion to Christ. Her refusal angered the emperor. More than personal rejection, he saw her faith as defiance against Roman authority. At a time when Christians were persecuted for refusing to worship Roman gods. According to tradition, Philomena endured severe tortures, whipping, being thrown into the Tiber River with an anchor, and arrows shot at her that miraculously turned back. Each time she survived, believed to be protected by divine intervention. Ultimately, she was martyred by beheading, sealing her legacy as a symbol of purity, courage, and unshakable faith. Though historical records are limited, Saint Philomena's story came to light in 1802 when her tomb was discovered in the catacombs of Priscilla in Rome. The inscriptions and symbols on the tomb, along with a vial of blood, indicated that she was a young martyr who gave her life for her faith. From that moment, devotion to Saint Philomena spread rapidly. She came to be venerated as a powerful intercessor, especially by those facing impossible challenges, and as a patron saint of purity and young people. In Christianity, relics are sacred remains or objects associated with saints. They serve as a spiritual bridge connecting believers with the faith, sacrifice, and holiness of those who came before. Parts of Saint Philomena's relics were sent to churches across the world. One such relic found its way to Mysore, where it was enshrined beneath the altar of this church. The crypt, an underground sacred chamber was specially built to house the relic with reverence. It is a quiet space for prayer, reflection, and spiritual connection, making this church an important pilgrimage site for Christians in Mysore and beyond. The roots of this church trace back to the late 18th century when a modest wooden chapel served British officers stationed in Mysore and Srirangapatna. Though simple in form, it became a vital spiritual refuge in a changing land. A defining moment arrived in 1926 when Tambu Chetty, the Huzur secretary to the Maharaja of Mysore, required a sacred relic of Saint Philomena from Peter Pisani, the apostolic delegate of the East Indies. The relic was entrusted to Father Kochet, who approached Krishnaraja Vadayar for support. The Maharaja embraced the vision. On October 28, 1933, he laid the foundation stone, symbolizing harmony between royal patronage and faith. Under the guidance of Rene Fuga, the project reshaped Mysore's spiritual and architectural skyline. In 1939, the old church was respectfully dismantled, making way for the magnificent structure we see today, honoring its humble origins while embracing a bold future. Royal vision and secular harmony. When we speak of St. Philomena's Cathedral, we are not just speaking about a church, we are speaking about a vision. This vision took shape during the reign of Maharaja Krishnaraja Vadayar IV, one of the most progressive and enlightened rulers of Mysore. His reign is often remembered as a golden period, not only for development and governance, but for harmony. Mysore under him was not defined by one religion but by coexistence. Despite being a ruler of different faiths, the Maharaja supported the construction of this grand Catholic cathedral. That gesture itself reflects the secular and inclusive spirit that Mysore has been known for, a land where faith was respected, not divided. During the colonial era, Mysore was witnessing transformation. British officers, missionaries, and European residents had settled in the region. Yet, unlike many parts of colonial India, Mysore maintained a delicate balance. Royal authority coexisted with diverse communities. The construction of this cathedral became a symbol of that harmony between the Mysore royalty and the Christian community. Architectural grandeur. When you first look at St. Philomena's Cathedral, what strikes you is not just its size, but its vertical ambition. The design draws inspiration from the great Gothic cathedrals of Europe, most notably the magnificent Cologne Cathedral in Germany, one of the most celebrated Gothic masterpieces in the world. Gothic architecture is not merely a style, it is symbolism carved in stone. Its vertical emphasis, the soaring lines that pull your eyes upward, represent humanity's eternal longing to reach the heavens. The pointed arches are not accidental. They symbolize aspiration, a spiritual movement from earth toward the divine. The intricate stonework, the symmetry, the rhythmic repetition of arches, all of it creates a sense of order, devotion, and transcendence. It is the great cathedrals of Europe, flying buttresses were used to support tall walls and allow vast stained glass windows to flood the interior with light that symbolized divine presence. The majestic twin spires. The Gothic aspiration in St. Philomena's Cathedral rises through the majestic twin spires. Designed by a French architect Daly, The cathedral reflects strong European Gothic influence, standing nearly 175 feet tall. The spires dominate the Mysore skyline. Their design draws inspiration from iconic Western churches, including the towering spires of St. Patrick's Cathedral in New York City. Visible from afar, they are not symbols of power, but declarations of faith. Their sharp silhouettes pierce the sky, echoing the architectural language of Europe, yet standing firmly rooted in the cultural soil of Mysore. As you step inside, the experience gently shifts from height to light. The stained glass and sacred lights. As you step inside, the experience shifts from height to light. The main hall or nave can seat nearly 800 people at a time, making it one of the largest churches in the region. Yet despite its scale, the atmosphere remains intimate and serene. The stained glass windows transform sunlight into storytelling. They depict powerful moments from the life of Christ, the Nativity, the Last Supper, the Crucifixion, the Resurrection, and the Ascension. These are not mere decorations, they are theology expressed through color and light. When morning sunlight filters through these panels, the cathedral glows in hues of red, blue, and gold, creating a sacred ambience of reverence and quiet reflection. What makes this cathedral remarkable is not just that it mirrors European Gothic design, but that it harmoniously blends that global influence with local craftsmanship. Stone carved by Indian artisans, a European vision shaped by Mysore hands, a cathedral that bridges continents. This is not imitation, it is adaptation, it is aspiration made visible, and that is the true architectural grandeur of St. Philomena's Cathedral. The foundation stone and royal legacy. As we look closely at the foundation stone, we find an inscription that carries both history and prestige. It reads, "This foundation stone of St. Philomena's Church was laid by His Highness Shri Krishna Rajendra Vadayar Bahadur IV, GCSI GBE Maharaja of Mysore, 28th October 1933. But what do these titles mean? GCSI stands for Knight Grand Commander of the Order of the Star of India. This distinguished order was instituted in 1861 by Queen Victoria to honor Indian princes and high-ranking officials who rendered exceptional service to the British Empire. GBE stands for Knight Grand Cross of the Order of the British Empire. This prestigious order was established in 1917 by King George V, recognizing significant contributions in governance and public service. These were not ordinary titles, they were among the highest honors of the British Crown, and they remind us that Maharaja Krishnaraja Vadayar IV was not only a respected ruler within Mysore, but also internationally acknowledged for his leadership and statesmanship. It was under such a decorated and visionary monarch that this cathedral's foundation was laid, a symbol of faith supported by royal dignity. These honors reflect the stature and global recognition of the Maharaja, a ruler respected not only within Mysore but across the British Empire. And it was under his patronage that this magnificent cathedral took shape. The sacred crypt and relic. Beneath the grandeur of the cathedral lies something quieter, yet deeply powerful. Directly below the main altar rests the crypt, a sacred underground chamber built to preserve the relic of Saint Philomena. In Christian tradition, relics are not worshipped, they are venerated or deeply respected. They serve as tangible connections to saints who lived lives of extraordinary faith and sacrifice. They remind believers that holiness once walked the earth. A relic of Saint Philomena discovered in the catacombs of Priscilla in Rome in 1802 was brought to Mysore and enshrined here with reverence. Its presence transformed this church into more than a structure of stone. It became a site of spiritual pilgrimage. The crypt is simple, silent, and solemn. There are no towering spires here, no stained glass, only stillness. And in that stillness, many devotees find something profound. reflection, shape, strength, hope. For some, it is history, for others, it is faith. But for all who descend into that sacred space, it is a reminder that even centuries later, devotion continues to inspire. Saint Philomena's Cathedral comes alive with a special radiance during Christmas, Easter, and the feast of Saint Philomena on August 11. During these sacred celebrations, the cathedral glows with festive lights and a beautifully adorned Christmas tree stands within its premises, adding warmth and joy to the atmosphere. The illuminated walls, the gentle sparkle of decorations, and the gathering of devotees create a scene of celebration and devotion where faith shines as brightly as the lights themselves. As night descends, the neo-Gothic facade of Saint Philomena's Cathedral transforms into a canvas of light. Its majestic twin spires bath in hues of blue, gold, purple and red, each color lending the sacred structure a new mood, a new emotion. The shifting illuminations trace every arch, every carving and every line of its towering form, turning stone into living brilliance. Amid this radiant display, the statue of Saint Philomena stands in serene silence, glowing gently under the changing lights. Her calm presence seems to watch over the gathering below, a symbol of faith that remains constant even as the colors around her change. In this harmony of light and devotion, the cathedral becomes more than a monument. It becomes a living celebration of faith, beauty, and divine grace. The branches of the trees shimmer with spirals of light, yellow, orange, purple, and blue, weaving a canopy of color above the gathering below. These glowing ribbons dance gently in the night breeze, transforming the surroundings into a mesmerizing, festive haven. Under this radiant glow, every step feels lighter, every face brighter, as the venue becomes a shared space of joy, wonder, and celebrations for all.
Ding dong, ding, them bells are playing loud and clear. Dong, ding dong, they're saying it's that time of year. For dreams of snow and stolen kisses neath the mistletoe. For kids from 1 to 96 with eyes and hearts aglow. Ding dong, bells they chime, for now it's Christmas time.
On either side, the trees stand adorned with bands of light wrapped around their trunks, glowing in shades of orange, red, blue and gold. Their steady radiance lines the pathway like silent sentinels guiding visitors through a corridor of warmth and celebration. Beyond them, rows of lights stretch across the premises, weaving a luminous tapestry that transforms the cathedral grounds into a festive sanctuary, welcoming all who enter with a sense of wonder and joy.
Yuletide carol choirs, angels in the snow, chestnuts, open fires, rides from long ago. Hark the herald, all ye faithful, golden days of yore. listen to the same old songs 1,000 times and more. Ding dong bells they chime, for now it's Christmas time.
A large, vibrant sketch of Jesus adorns the ground, drawn in brilliant colors that instantly draw the eyes of every visitor. Each stroke reflects devotion and artistry, transforming the floor into a canvas of faith. People pause, admire, and quietly reflect, some capturing the moment, others offering silent prayers. In this simple yet powerful creation, art becomes a bridge between devotion and expression, leaving a lasting impression on all who pass by. A humble manjo scene draws visitors into the sacred story of Bethlehem. Figures of horses and cows stand quietly beside angels, while the Virgin Mary gazes tenderly upon the newborn Jesus. To the right, Saint Joseph stands watchful and protective, a silent guardian of this holy moment. This simple nativity tableau recalls the birth of Christ in Bethlehem, a moment that brought immense hope and joy to the world. In its quiet simplicity, the manjo reminds us that from the humblest beginnings can emerge a message of love, peace, and salvation for all humanity. कुछ भी हो, हर साल जब क्रिसमस आता है तो सिर्फ त्योहार नहीं आता, एक याद लौट कर आती है। सेंट फिलोमिना और सेंट जोसेफ की वो यादें जो हमें याद दिलाती है कि विश्वास, त्याग और करुणा कभी पुरानी नहीं होती। दिए की एक छोटी सी लौ अंधेरे को पूरी तरह मिटा ना भी पाए तो भी वो रास्ता जरूर दिखा देती है। और शायद इसीलिए हर क्रिसमस के साथ दुनिया थोड़ी और शांत, थोड़ी और इंसानियत से भरी हुई लगती है। On this sacred Christmas night, each candle becomes a quiet prayer, a reminder that even the smallest flame of faith can guide hearts through the darkest hours. The birth of Jesus is not just a story, it is a celebration of love, forgiveness, and hope. And in this gentle glow, we wish for a world filled with peace, compassion, and shared humanity. कुछ भी हो, जब जब क्रिसमस आता है, सेंट फिलोमिना और सेंट जोसेफ की विरासत हमें याद दिलाती है कि आस्था से जली एक दिया भी पूरी दुनिया को शांति की राह दिखा सकती है। रात के इस उत्सव में रोशनी की मेहराबें जैसे आकाश से उतर आई हो। हर चमकती किरण, हर जगमगाता रंग मानो खुशी का एक पुल बना रहा हो, दिलों को जोड़ने वाला, उम्मीद जगाने वाला। क्रिसमस के इस मेले में रोशनी केवल सजावट नहीं, ये विश्वास की चमक है जो हर चेहरे पर मुस्कान बनकर उतरती है। आशा है दोस्तों आपको सेंट फिलोमिना की विरासत और यीशु के प्रेम का ये संदेश दिल से छू गया होगा। यही है इस कैथेड्रल की खासियत। यहाँ हर इंसान को, हर संस्कृति को एक साथ खड़ा होने की प्रेरणा देता है। यहाँ आने वाला हर व्यक्ति अपने साथ एक नई उम्मीद, एक नई शांति और एक नई शुरुआत लेकर लौटता है। उम्मीद है आपको ये यात्रा पसंद आई होगी। आप सभी की प्रार्थनाएं सुनी जाए और दुनिया प्रेम, करुणा और मानवता से भर जाए। धन्यवाद और शुभकामनाएं।